Have you ever wondered how to build an epic castle in Minecraft? Well, today, that's what we're going to do. Starting off with this mega base, this mega build. And as you can see from behind me, we've already started. So, without any further ado, let's start the building. This area right here in front of us is a part of my main survival world, and I've had a lot of plans for this for quite a while. We're going to be building something pretty phenomenal. Now, to do that, what we're going to do to start is we're going to plan out our castle. Step one in building a castle would be to plan out where you want the buildings, how big you want it, the structure, the outline. So we're starting off here in cobblestone just because it's the block I have the most of, and we are going to be tracing an outline of the walls pretty much of where this building is going to be taking place. As you can see, I have found this really cool area, and putting it on top of a mountain gives it more security from raiders, from people trying to attack, from creeper explosions that happen in the middle there. And now this will be a crucial area, landmark, where you could defend from, as in the famous words of Obi-Wan Kenobi, the high ground is important.
It's over, Anakin! I have the high ground!
Now, I'm not particularly sure what kind of buildings these are going to be. Truth be told, I'm just putting out some building outlines, just in general, just so we can get a rough sense of where everything is going to be. Maybe there'll be a guard station or two, maybe there's definitely going to be a royal palace and dining hall and all of that. That stuff's going to be right there at the back. But for now, we just built the outlines. And as you can see now, I'm just building some 3D models. So we can see how high we want things roughly. It's definitely going to change. But we'll outline how tall we want all the buildings to be. Starting with this guard tower here, or the front gate. We're going to outline just the rough structure of this one. We want it to be around that tall, which is about 20 blocks or so. And with a nice shape for the door. Now going around, just outlining where the walls are going to be. Over here is going to be another giant tower. We're going to have two on either side, two giant towers, maybe a third one at the back, and we'll just have some random shapes and buildings all throughout the city. Just give it some depth, give it some different shapes, and make them, contrast really well. Finally getting around to the backside here, and we're just going to plan out the royal castle, the main part of the build, the dining hall, the banquet feast, whatever you want to call it, whatever we're going to do here. We're just going to build this to be probably the biggest part, so it pops. You'll be able to see it from the ground even, or at least from the front door, and that's where the king of this land is going to be, and sit and reign, and can entertain guests in the banquet hall, in the reception area, meet on the throne. One crucial step when planning a castle is to pick your colour palette. So here I wanted to go for starting at a darker cobblestone texture and going up to a lighter texture, and I'm going to be using this throughout the entire build process, starting off dark and then going higher up to lighter colours. This is a cool trick that builders use to bring your eyes up to the top. As you can see here, we're starting off with these towers. These ones aren't totally going to employ that trick, however we are having lighter colours on top and darker colours on the bottom. So here are the walls being built. I'm going to be copying this pattern throughout the entire rest of the build. So this is going to be pretty important to figure out your walls and what you're wanting done here. Got a bit of an overhang at the top to add some shape to it as well, so it's not just one flat wall. But when we get to the towers later, you'll see that contrasting line in colour. That will help drastically. Now let's go around and just light up some of the paths where we want the roads in the middle of this castle to run through. I'm just going to use some torches for this just for now, and we'll come back eventually and put some dirt or some bricks or something down to show which way the road's going to go. So let's quickly zoom through that. Continuing on with our guard towers, our main gates. I've gone along and added some some deep slate tiles, which are black, and I think those go really well with the white walls on top as well. Just really make it pop. So this is going to be the main roof we're going to be using throughout this entire castle. So here are the guard towers and the wall, the beginnings of the wall, and we've just started with these. The front gate, the entrance, is coming along really well. You can see we've got a bit of an arch there, a bit of a curve at the bottom gate, and that's where all the carriages and the horses and the people, anyone visiting the king or anything, can come through the main area. They have to come through here. This is the security checkpoint, the guard towers on the left and right that will prevent unwanted people from coming in, do some searches of carriages as they enter. This will be a crucial area for this castle, and it's what keeps it protected. Now we're beginning with what's really exciting, one of our main towers over here. This one is going to be one of the big boys. It's going to be at the front. It's what allows the guards to watch out over the entire region, over their entire kingdom, and see possible threats coming, see what the people are doing, all of that kind of good stuff. So as you can see, I've got my layering technique that I was talking about earlier. A lot of builders use this in particular. It's really good technique. It helps bring your eye line up. The lighter colours draw your eyes up more, which, just adds to your builds. So here you can see I'm starting to add in the whiter colours, and we're going up that gradient there. Now, this gradient doesn't particularly look the best from close up, but it's not designed to. It's more designed to look great from standing back. From a distance, it'll look a lot smoother. Right now it looks a bit chunky, especially this close up, it looks very blocky. But the further back you go, the better it looks. And this is a good compromise between the two close up and far away views. So in a minute, we'll have a look at what this looks like far away as well. Coming around to the side, we're going to continue that wall pattern, just expanding these walls to the next tower that's going to be our banquet hall over on the right there in that corner. But for now, we're just going to continue this wall pattern as we did before. So let's just let this montage run through and we can see what we're doing with this wall pattern here again. And here is a long distance shot. As you can see, my gradient that I was talking about there looks really cool from afar. And we're going to begin now the other exciting part, the other massive tower. The guard tower that's going to look over this side of the hill, this side of the mountain, and guard the tower from invaders or threats, or even its own people, if the king's a bit, not loved by the people. But this tower is going to come in handy, and I think it looks pretty impressive, and I'm going to do a slight trick with the roof this time. Sightlines are also a massive thing with towers and castles and builds, and that's basically what it'll look like from distances, from different areas, from different sites, and the lines that you take. So I'm going to create the path in coming episodes that leads up to this, wiggling up, going through different ways, and it'll look really impressive. And you'll see the castle in the distance bit by bit, more and more the closer you get. And so that's really important to keep in mind when doing all of this, where you're going to be viewing this from. Now with this roof, I wanted to do something a little different from the other one. I thought the other one looked a bit like a barn silo kind of thing, grain silo. So this one, I wanted a bit more of a sloping roof. And I think that really, really worked in the end, with a lot pointier at the top. So I started off just with one layer of stairs, and then I had one layer of block, then stairs, and then 2 layers of blocks, and then stairs. And it came out really well in the end. Finally, continuing on with the other side of the walls, we're going to completely surround it by walls by the end of this so that no one can get in, no one can break our defences. That view, it's starting to look like a real tower, a real castle. But we are missing something. Some of the towers on the inside, they're kind of hollow. You can't really see much past the front gate. So we're going to add some more depth, some more character to this build. And I really wanted to do that by starting on some of the towers on the inside of the castle. So this is the first tower you're going to see on the inside. And I really wanted this one to be a lot more white. I wanted whiter colours for the castle because it's like a royal castle was kind of the feel I was going for. So for this one, I actually started halfway on the gradient, starting off with some of the lighter colours. And also on the roof, I wanted to do something else here. So I've kind of half completed this roof, and then I stop, and then I'm going to build some more of that tower, just to make them all a bit different. And we'll come back and we'll detail it in a bit as well. Again, talking about those sight lines, this is going to be a really impressive build to see as you slowly walk up the trail, up the mountain, and slightly obscured building and then less obscured. And we have it. This is the front gate, done, not completely detailed yet. We'll get to that in another episode maybe. But the main buildings are done and I've kind of run out of resources, so I'm going to have to go back to the mines, get some more. But as you can see, we've got the first almost half completed. If you guys enjoyed this build, let me know down below in the comments section and give it a thumbs up, a like if you can. I am very keen for this project. I've had this planned for so long and I am keen to keep going with this build. If you want to learn how to make a castle like this, medieval castle, stay tuned because more parts are coming. We're going to be completing the rest of the structures, the back half, the royal castle, the royal banquet hall, the throne room, all of that fun stuff. And then we're going to do some interiors. We're going to talk about detailing, paths, all of that fun stuff, adding some life into it, maybe add some villages. But there's a lot more coming, guys. So stay tuned, and thank you for watching.